Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Minnesota Mike back with you for another video. This is another one in my vlog series that I do through the Memphis Songwriters Association, part of the blog that I write for them, and you can find that on the Memphis Songwriters Association website. So, in my vlogs and blogs, we talk about songwriting and what makes certain songs work. And we just finished up talking about metaphors and similes in my last set of vlogs and blogs. Now we're going to talk about object writing. So, object writing can be an incredibly useful tool for curing writer's block. When I say writer's block, you might be picturing an aspiring songwriter who just cannot bring themselves to write as often as they'd like. And no judgments there. Some of the greatest songwriters of all time only write when inspired. Snow Patrol, for instance, went 7 years between studio albums due to lead singer Gary Lightbody's bout of writer's block. Bob Dylan went through the 90s and 2010s, went through some writer's block there, and he coped with it by releasing albums of standards that inspired him. But what if you had strategies to cope with that writer's block to the point where you just completely eliminated it? From pop to country music, there are people whose job it is to write hits for the stars, and that's a lot of pressure. So let's take a look at one of the ways that they do that, and that's object writing. So what exactly is object writing? I view object writing with two definitions in mind. Number one, you center in on an object, and this could be something in the room, such as the wall or the TV, or something based on an idea that you have that's not in the room, but is still on your mind. It could also be the room itself or the building itself. In my interview with Brian Blake about the second song in my blog, which is New Year's Day by Brian Blake, he talks about the Odd Hotel, which he wrote a song about on his most recent album. The other way to look at it is that you center in on a person you're observing and make up something about a conversation that they're having. We're going to circle back to that next one when it comes to character development within songs, but for now, we're going to focus on objects. Specifically, we'll look at how those objects you write about can trigger an intense amount of nostalgia. So we're going to chat about one of my favorite songs by Maroon 5, and this is a song called Denim Jacket. This, for the record, was actually not for the record. It was released as a bonus track. They cut it from the standard edition of Red Pill Blues, but it is one of my absolute favorite songs, and you're about to see why. So in the opening of this video, I mentioned people whose job it is to write hits for and or with the stars. This song was written by Adam Levine, James Allen Golub, Peter Kelleher, Tom Barnes, Ben Cohn, Oscar Gores, and Jacob Kosher Hindlin. Interestingly, in looking at their production and songwriting discography, there isn't a whole lot of object writing that's occurred. This particular song felt like a first for everyone involved, which is cool for me as a longtime fan of Maroon 5. So lyrically, the power of this song begins with the opening line, "You're standing there with your cigarette, looking at me like we've never met." It's a very one-sided bit of nostalgia, and it's quickly revealed that she left because he was presumably too immature, which doesn't sound like Adam Levine at all. I don't know, why he would relate to that topic, but she hasn't changed, or she has changed, excuse me, but he has not changed. And appropriately, his memory of her is something that she wore when they were together, a denim jacket. One of the knocks on Maroon 5 and on pop music in general is how little there is that gets said or revealed throughout the course of the song. But immediately upon the reunion, we see that it's not just about the jacket, but rather the person inside that jacket. Everything is reminding him of her. My favorite line in the song is "'cause the color of the sky just reminds me of our goodbye." Contrast that with someone who's changed so much, despite the happy memories that the lead singer has of her. There's so much said within so few words, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So now let's dive into the melody. Melodically, the song has an acoustic guitar at the beginning with an electric keyboard accompanying it. The electric keyboard doesn't really come in until later. There are heavily affected drums as well, and there's bass. The song is written in C sharp major with a chord progression of C sharp, G sharp, F sharp in the verses, while the pre-chorus goes to D sharp and F sharp. All of those are major chords, by the way. And in the chorus, it follows the progression of C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, and A sharp minor, and then it also has a G sharp in there as well. The chords follow a 1-5-4 pattern that has been prevalent in a lot of popular songs spanning 50 plus years, including La Bamba by Richie Valens. There's some U2 songs. I believe it's Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. And then The Gambler also uses that particular song as well. And although you might dismiss all of those as pop songs just using a formula, the chords that are used to create an underlying tension at points, and that underlying tension doesn't get resolved. Denim Jacket, in particular, does this incredibly well. The short pre-chorus, the "Ah, we're both so different now," as well as the aforementioned "Color of the Sky" lyric, leaves so much unresolved, and the melody and the chord progression both match that. So structurally, one of the things that got me interested in studying Maroon 5 was not just listening to them, but actually diving into how they structure their songs. And they had a very unique way of doing that, especially in their early days with their bridges. The attention to that aspect of the song has, in my opinion, fallen off over the past 10 years or so, but Denim Jacket does something rather interesting. It'd be a stretch to call it a bridge, but after the solo, they go back to the first line of the first verse. "You're standing there with your cigarette, looking at me like we've never met." And then it goes in for one more heart-wrenching chorus about the girl in the denim jacket. The takeaway, similar to the melodic and lyric analyses, less is more. So that's Denim Jacket. That's kind of your intro into object writing. Maybe some of you have done some object writing before, but I know personally I'm not always super comfortable with it. The intentionality of it sometimes scares me. It feels like it's going to be forced. But this hopefully provides you with a pretty good visual of something that you could go for. Like I said, I hope it helps. So happy writing. I'm Minnesota Mike. Thanks so much for watching.